welcome. My name is Kyle. I'm a wildlife program specialist over at Lindsay Wildlife Experience, and this is Brushy Peak, a nexus of ecology and culture, an oasis of woodlands and wetlands here in the arid Diablo Range. How was your ride over here? Yeah, pretty tough. It's a tough place to visit, an even tougher place to live, although my favorite animal has somehow figured out a way to make it happen. The life history of the California tiger salamander weaves together the different habitats and landscapes of the Diablo Range and challenges us to seek out and to nourish life in even the toughest, least hospitable of environments. Even that muddy puddle over there. Life finds a way. So now's the time to use the restrooms, the facilities, the only restrooms on site right over by the parking lot. Grab any kind of sun protection you need, uh, sun protection, snacks, water, sense of adventure, medications, hiking poles, and anything else you'll need. This is a half-hour loop, a gentle stroll. We're going to go over to the seasonal pools and back here. I'll see you in 10. Let's do this. You made it. I'm glad. Do you have any places that you like to walk to in your neighborhood? Any stops along the way? Do you have a routine? Do people know about this routine? This is the first stop in the Salamanders neighborhood. This is where billions of lives have started. This is a very highly sought after neighborhood for many different species of animals. This is the vernal pool where the California tiger salamanders start their lives. In the vernal pool, there's intense competition for survival. This pool, in just a few months, will just be a crust, a dry crust of mud. The California tiger salamanders, while they're in this pool, they're munching on a smorgasbord of biodiversity. Let's see what we got. Looks yummy, right? So they are pretty much the top dogs, or shall I say, top tigers of the vernal pool. As the summer months progress, the water level goes down and down and down and down, and the competition just intensifies. Eventually, the whole thing dries up, but the waterlogged soil, it sustains a carpet of wildflowers, which help to nourish native pollinators. This, my friends, is an epicenter of biodiversity. All right, so imagine that this pool is now nothing but a crust of dry mud. Some of the animals, like the fairy shrimps, they've managed to lodge their eggs in that dry mud, but a lot of the animals, most of the animals, have had to grow up really fast, including those California tiger salamanders. They've lost their frilly gills, they still have moist, sticky skin. Imagine if your skin was like the insides of your lungs. You breathe through your skin. You need a cool, dark place to go. And it's really hot and dry out here. Look at the soil. It's really dry. Fortunately, Brushy Peak has some accommodating neighbors. Let's check them out. Let's stroll, everyone. Follow me. This way, everyone. Okay. So check out this taxidermized California tiger salamander, fully mature and ready for the journey uphill. Follow me. So fortunately, it has some architecturally inclined neighbors who are very good at digging. The California ground squirrel, a keystone species that holds together this entire landscape. Underground, let's see, yeah, it's a lattice of tunnels and chambers that provides almost like an underground apartment complex for all kinds of animals, tarantulas, snakes, and of course, amphibians like the California tiger salamander, the red-legged frog. In this soft soil here, you might also have the western spadefoot, a kind of burrowing frog that loves digging in this soft soil. Also, this soft soil oftentimes has seeds, so it provides a nice place for plants to grow as well. They are truly a keystone species. The California tiger salamander, they go deep down. They spend more time in these burrows than a lot of the other animals do. Has anyone ever heard the word estivation before? It's a good SAT word, estivation. It means they're pretty much dormant during the hottest and driest summer months. They're in survival mode, y'all. They're not eating and drinking. They're just staying in one place, sequestered deep in these tunnels. So when it gets a little bit rainier, a little bit more humid, they might emerge for a little bit and go on a little bit of a hunt. What do you think an adult tiger salamander would love to chow down on? What do you think? Maybe spiders, maybe slugs, earthworms, anything unlucky enough to wander inside those jaws, even a little baby mouse. So when the rains finally do come back to California, the California tiger salamanders, they will stretch and mosey their way downhill, starting their homeward trek, feeling a little bit nostalgic at the ripe old age of 5 or 6 years old. It's kind of like when we're going back to our hometown after a long time away. They're starting to head back down to the vernal pools, hopefully to continue the cycle of life. Lay some jelly-like eggs in those vernal pools and have a new generation of trekking tigers. California tiger salamanders are tough enough for the Diablo range, but we don't need to make it any tougher for them. About 95% of the salamander larvae from one generation are not going to survive to make the next generation. It's already very tough for them, especially with California's droughts and our climate change. That's really straining our vernal pool ecosystems here in California. So if there's a drought that wipes out a whole pool of tiger salamander larvae, that's really going to put a dent in their population. Because remember, these populations are really isolated. They need both ground squirrel burrows in close proximity to these fish-free vernal pools. So it's very hard for long-distance migrants to replenish those populations. It's a really big issue for these animals. But what can we do about it? Who here likes beef? Who here likes dairy? Yeah. So studies have shown that responsibly managed grass-fed beef can actually help to enhance biodiversity here in the vernal pools. So long ago, there were tule elk here, as well as pronghorns, pretty much my favorite animals. And they graze this landscape, this prairie landscape, reducing fuel load, but also sometimes they get an itch and they'd want to take a little bit of a bath. They'd take a little bit of a wallow. So with their wallowing, they'd widen these vernal pools, creating more space for all this life. And grass-fed cattle, they can help to control invasive species that outcompete the native vernal pool species here in these wet meadows. These species that help to buffer all of this life here in the vernal pool. As a great philosopher once said, beef, it's what's for dinner. Come on, you're doing great. Follow me. Awesome. Well done, everyone. Whew. Give yourself a pat on the back. Like our hike today, the existence of the California tiger salamander spans space and time. It binds together the diverse habitats of the Diablo range, from the buzzing broth of the vernal pools all the way to the cavernous lairs of the California ground squirrels. Sometimes it's tempting to think of an animal as just a thing. At Lindsay, we try to think of animals more like dynamic processes. It's all connected, y'all. If we want to protect these California tiger salamanders, we got to think big. If we drain more than our fair share from this basin of water, from this basin with all these droughts, if we poison or shoot these ground squirrels, that's going to have a serious impact on these California tiger salamanders. I invite you to stick around for a while and share ways that you hope to advocate for wildlife in your own lives, your professional and personal lives. We have a guest book here if you'd like to sign. Also, if you'd like to join our mailing list, be part of our team of guardians to help us do what we do here at Lindsay and contribute. All donations are graciously accepted. We also have our organization's Venmo account. I have the code on my phone right here, and you can contribute however much you wish if you enjoyed this program. I also do have some of these amazing wildlife trading cards. Take 1 or 5 for any kids in your life. Inspire them. Let them do this journey again, just like those generations and generations of California tiger salamanders. Safe driving, everyone, and keep on trekking.